What happens next? Are you ready?
So is Jordan Peele's newest horror flick a hit or a miss? And I'm already aware of how stupidly overused this phrase is going to be, a nope or a yup, but here we are.
Are you ready?
Now, I want to do a brief spoiler-free review of the film Nope from the angle of Jordan Peele as a filmmaker and storyteller and how he creates novelty in a genre while also staying true to formulaic Hollywood story beats. Or does he stray from the beaten path altogether and lose the plot? Nope is a very different film than you'd expect if you just viewed the original trailer, and a lot more fun, nostalgic, and dynamic than I was hoping. For me, like most people, Peele's entry in 2017 into horror, or as he'd call it, a social thriller, was with Get Out, which was so refreshing and confident, and it marked an important turning point in the history of filmmaking where a genre film could say something of import and could be taken seriously by the Academy while still being classically fun, in the way that a scary movie can be fun, sitting on the edge of your seat in the theater with strangers collectively gasping in fear all together. Whereas his follow-up in 2019 with Us was, well, it had some good ideas, but I'll just say it couldn't stick the landing, and I was a little disappointed. So this film for me felt like it was sort of a make or break moment for Jordan Peele as a filmmaker. Could he just be a one-hit wonder, so to speak, and not be able to finish what he started, which apparently is to complete 5 films within the social thriller genre, and almost like a JPCU, a Jordan Peele cinematic universe. So could Nope be the end of that hope? First, let me describe Nope a bit, with again, there's no spoilers, for it stars Daniel Kaluuya as O.J. Hayward, who in my book is one of this generation's finest actors, period. If you disagree, just watch Judas and the Black Messiah, and him with Lakeith Stanfield, another one of Peele's muses not in this film. It felt like watching Pacino and De Niro, but back to Nope. It also has Keke Palmer, who is mesmerizing as Esmeralda. They play siblings who experience a spectacle of sorts over their rural California ranch, where they train literal show ponies, horses for Hollywood. And this encounter takes a sci-fi action turn that at the surface says one thing, but like Get Out, beneath the topcoat, makes a comment about something very different. A society now fed on attention over manufacturing. So our commodity is our gaze, our eyes, as compared to the toils of our hands. So it's no surprise our heroes are salt of the earth folk who also witness something they seek to take advantage of. And it's obviously hard to not spoil much of the plot, but I can say the film is helmed expertly by Peele, paced well, knowing when to turn up the stakes and the tension, and the comparisons to summer films of old like Jaws is very apparent and probably part of the commentary. So in many ways, the film follows a Spielbergian formula while still clearly being Peelean. And that in and of itself is remarkable, that on his third film we can recognize the unique fingerprint as a storyteller. So what is most noteworthy is how much thought went into each layer and symbol of this film. Nothing that crosses the screen feels like it's an accident or couldn't have a whole dissertation written about it. No matter what you think of Jordan Peele's films, you can't say he hasn't thoroughly thought about every aspect of his work. And it also helps that he is a writer, producer, and director. And he is a true auteur and ringleader. And Nope very much feels wholly original and yet completely paying homage to the history of Hollywood. A few other noteworthy performances and characters worth mentioning are first Brendan Perea, who stumbles onto helping the Haywood siblings, along with Michael Wincott, who plays Antler's host, a renowned cinematographer. They both join the team, so to speak, in attempting to capture the spectacle in the sky. And then there's Steven Yeun, whose character Ricky, to me, was the film's most interesting and mysterious in a way. And he could have his own prequel spin-off film about him, which I'd go see tomorrow. But within his backstory, what he does with his trauma says maybe the most about what themes Peele is attempting to convey. And I have a feeling most people may too quickly try to analyze the story's themes into just our obsession with filming everything and social media warping how we experience life and how this all stems from Hollywood's sprawling influence over the world. But I think for me it says something deeper and likely harder to express. But I just watched the movie, drove home, wrote this essay, set up my lights, moved my camera into position, pressed record, toiled over this edit, uploaded, and crossed my fingers that anybody would watch this. And why? Because I'm vain? Because I'm obsessed with filming moments? Or because I think there's something deep down, a scratch that I can't quite reach, but for the love of God, I'm going to try. And it's an itch to capture something beautiful, or something mundane even, but something, and to share it, to let you know that I'm here, and you may be over there, But there's a lot more to all of this, and there's something indescribable above us all, and all around us. And if we could only snap a picture of it, then maybe we could understand this thing together, and we wouldn't be so afraid of the unknown. And I think Jordan Peele is trying to scratch that itch, and he's trying to, ironically, with a horror, make us feel less afraid, or at least be afraid together, with the lights out, popcorn in hand, and in the cinema. So I can safely say that I think I like Nope almost as much as Get Out, and I could feel his experience as a director giving him a sure hand. Now, this is not a perfect film, of course, but he is trying, which is inspiring for all of us as artists and storytellers, and I can't wait to see what he does next. So Nope is a yup for me. Thank you all for giving me your gaze and attention. Please consider liking and subscribing. I have a bunch more film critiques and story breakdowns on the way. Okay, thanks again. Love you all. Bye.